Hey everybody, thank you so much for coming to my channel, d.vs.debt. This is D, and it's Wednesday. So on Wednesdays we talk about money moves, and today I am going to focus on showing off Lil Louis and the setup that I created for him, the envelopes I made, and I'm going to be stuffing him for the very first time. So I guess it's the inaugural stuffing, which is very exciting. And I think I'm going to save my investing and all that other stuff for a separate video, because monsoons are here and the power was out again today for a couple of hours, so I'm kind of scrambling to film, edit, do all that stuff at the last minute before the power goes out again, as it tends to do. So very excited to show you this. Remember, this was the kind of splurge that I had bought myself with some kitty sitting money. So I ordered it from Ecoclair or Ecoclair, I'm actually not sure how to pronounce it. I'm going to do a scroll of her Instagram so that you can see, just kind of to get an idea of what she makes and sells on her shops. So the reason I picked this is because it's handmade. Obviously, it's not a real Louis Vuitton. I could never afford that. So I'm just very impressed with her handiwork, as you're going to see right now when I show you my setup. So on her Instagram, you get to see all the stuff she's made, and then on her Instagram stories or reels, she gives you hints of what's coming up, because if you go to her website, most of the time the stuff is sold out. This sold out 2 times, like when I was trying to get my hands on it. So before we get into that though, obviously the name Lil Louis, you know, is a play on Louis Vuitton and the fact that this is so tiny. So he is an A9 size, which is itty bitty baby size. But I realized I hadn't really shared the story of, well, you all know how I like to name my binders, but I hadn't really shared the story except in the comments when replying to people about the meaning of the name. So if you're not familiar, so for example, this is Big Bertha. If you've watched the movie Selena, about Selena Quintanilla, so her family used to tour in a busted up old bus, basically. And so in the movie Selena, there's this funny scene where Big Bertha, you know, runs off the road. So a couple of guys pull up, and they were just so excited when they see that it's Selena. So they're like, Salinas, anything for Salinas. So it was just such a cute scene. You know, and this was before she became famous, and yet back then people recognize her. Ooh, there's thunder. So my video might have some mysterious rolling thunder, which ties in nicely to my next binder with the scary thunder sounds. So this is Large Marge, and if you're familiar with Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure, that was an epic movie that pretty much defined my childhood. And there's a scene where a truck driver that picks him up and starts telling him this scary story, and it turns out she's a ghost. So she turns around, looks at him, and her face turns into this scary creature. Her eyes bug out and all that. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. That scene terrified me. Now as an adult looking at it, it's just ridiculous. But back then I was completely terrified. So that's where that name comes from. So let's get into Lil Louis. So again, he is not real. And I thought I got a smoking deal with $25, especially since it's handmade. And so what I did then to turn him into a wallet is there are pockets. And I appreciate, this is a good sign of her handiwork. She centered the Louis Vuitton logo here. I don't want to give away my personal information. I try to washi tape most of it. So when you put your card in here, you know, you see the logo, you see your card, everything's nice and centered. On the other side, I have a couple of cards. This one is for, is it Beal's Outlet? Bell's Outlet? How the heck do you pronounce this? But I like to shop there on Fridays because you get an additional bonus discount with this. So I'm going to keep these handy for when I'm trying to get some deals. Now I did attach this key ring with this gold, I think it's a hair tie actually. I don't even know what it is, but for me, I like to hook my wallets to me. So as I'm walking around, it's kind of dangling around, but I also feel more secure having it in my hands in case someone tries to snatch it, I guess. But it's also more convenient to have it hanging off of me. So I did clip one of those into there. I just threaded it onto a, you know, keychain thing, and then snapped it into the rings. On the bottom, I put what I call little truck nuts. And so this is actually what we used to hang off of my original D-Buck binder. And then I just added a little brown kind of floral fabric thing because it matches Louis, you know, the brown color. So I just like the dangly sound as I'm walking and it's jingle jangling. I just love that for whatever reason. Now these cash envelopes are my own DIY. And let me go ahead and give you a heads up now. I do not sell them and I will not sell them for a couple of reasons. Just like the Louis Vuitton is not a real thing, these I kind of pirated off of Google Image, basically helped myself to them, so they're not images that I paid for because it's for personal use. So I printed them out and laminated them, made it into little cash envelopes, but I don't feel comfortable selling them for a couple of reasons. Again, I didn't purchase this image. It's not my image. All I did was upload it onto Canva, shrink it down. I think it was like 2.5 by 3 inches, threw the categories on there, printed it out on vellum. So if you notice, it's got like a strange goldish sheen. It's because I had tried to be fancy and I printed it using, I don't know if you'll be able to see the effect. This is only a partial sheet. This is basically what was left over. So it's the usual paper size, 8.5 by 11 inches. But can you see that iridescent shimmer? On one side it's shiny and shimmery, the other side is matte. And so these are from Hobby Lobby. It's $1 a sheet. So I printed these out, cut it down to size, and so then I had leftovers to work with. However, it gave it kind of a weird goldish color instead of the iridescent effect I was hoping for. So I think I should have just gone with a regular sheet. So this is just regular plain vellum, and it's 59 cents a sheet. So it's half the price basically, and I think it would look, the images would look much better because it did alter the colors as it printed out. So this is my fun envelope. I'm gonna go ahead and stuff $20 into it for the week because I plan to go to drag queen bingo. And usually that's a pretty cheap night out because all it is tipping the drag queen. To play bingo itself is only about $5. And then if I have a couple of cocktails, you know, for that. So that should do it for the week. I went out for 3 days straight this weekend, so I don't plan to do much going out this weekend. My next category is food. Trying not to eat out much. So really then I'm going to put $40 into there. And I think this is going to be more for grocery money. So you're going to notice these are all 20s because I only have an ATM in my town and one specific ATM that I can use without getting charged fees because there's no local branch to my bank, and that ATM only gives you 20s. You don't have the option to get other types of bills. Like, I'm so jealous of people that can get 5s, 10s, you know, other things besides $20. All we get is 20. So if I want to get money in other denominations, then I have to drive 60 miles round trip, and I think right now that's like, I don't know, $12 or something like that. So yeah, no thanks. Miscellaneous, this category I put in there in case, like, let's say I have to go pay my water bill or I have to go buy cat food or something like that. So I'm gonna put $40 into that. So there is my 40. So as you can see, on the one side it's clear, and on the other side is where the pattern is. So I've got a couple of videos on my DIY playlist where you can see how I made these. It's basically the same thing as a peekaboo cash envelope that I show you in those tutorials, but instead of doing a peekaboo, I just cover up the whole area with that. But if you want me to do a tutorial on these itty bitty little envelopes, go ahead and let me know. Shop is for if I need to go, like, let's say to Dollar General to get something for the house. So I'm going to go ahead and put 20 into there. I'm sorry, 40 into there. And if you notice, I haven't pointed it out, they're all Hello Kitty patterns because I love Hello Kitty, but they also have the Louis Vuitton pattern in the back. So this one has it as the wallpaper. This one has it on her bow and her little outfit as well as in the wallpaper. This one has it here and in her bow. This one I just thought it was so cute. There's a background. And then this one I got a huge kick out of. Let me see if you can tell. Bring it up closer. Can you see the little Hello Kitties inside the pattern? And instead of LV, it's HK for Hello Kitty. How stinking cute. That's gonna get 60 because gas is ridiculous, and I'm hoping $60 will stretch for the week, but that's not even a full tank. The reason I'm giving myself 60 is I have about a third of a tank right now. So, ouch. So I'm really hoping that the $60 will get me through the week. We shall see. Wish me luck. And then this last little envelope bank is basically like if there's something, some money that I wanted to take back to the bank. So that is it. And as you notice now, it's starting to get full. So this is going to hold it together, hold it closed. But if I were to get change back and it's a bunch of ones, let's say, then I can just stick it here in these other pockets that are in the back if they don't fit into here. So there is Louie all stuffed. Let me go ahead. I've got 20, 40, 60 to work with. So I'm going to go ahead and stuff those into my sinking funds. So here comes Big Bertha again. And I'm going to go ahead and jump over to my little sinking funds area and see which ones I want to stuff. Okay, definitely want to do a 20 into here. Trying to save up $2,000 for vet emergencies because that seems to be about the average cost when I end up having an emergency and my pets need, you know, x-rays and labs and things like that. So right now I've got some placeholders because I have some of that money in Ally Bank. And so there's a 500 to represent that. Cute little Hello Kitty. Speaking of Hello Kitty. So now that means I've got 500, 20, 40, 60, 70, 75, 80, 85. So $15 from now, then I'll replace it with a $100 placeholder. And it also happens to be a Hello Kitty, so I'm excited to get to that point. And then that money will get put into Ally so that it doesn't get stolen. I just don't want $500 sitting around in my house begging to be stolen. All right, so that takes care of that one. I'm going to put 20 into this one as well, because my car is older. It's been giving me trouble. And I just want to have a good chunk of change because that's about how much I spent last summer getting it fixed up. So always surprises me, always catches me off guard with a big expensive car repair bill. All right, so I have 500 in Ally as well. And then 40. So 540 is what I have saved up here. The next one is, normally I would spin, that's the plan for the spinner thing here. But now since I'm only working with 20s, ooh, wait. Do I want to put it towards my taxes? Or arg. I'm going to do it for my deductible because I really need to beef up that account. So it's almost July, and in July, I switch over to an HSA account. I have trouble saying that. And it has a $4,000 deductible, which just stresses me out. So I'm attacking it $1,000 at a time. So when I fill out this whole little tracker sheet, I'll have $1,000 saved. Since I'm putting 20 in, that's 2 little poops. So I'm calling this my $10 turds. It's 10 cents per, I'm sorry, it's $10 per little poopy. So there's my $30. Little baby steps, you know, to get to that goal. And then next time I am hoping to be able to stuff some of these other ones. I want to definitely stuff that one for sure. This I'm planning to use like to save up money for trips out of town. So for example, a trip to Tucson now costs me $60 round trip. So right now I've got $20 in there. So then once I have 3 little gas pumps filled in, then I know like, hey, I can take a trip to Tucson. So for now I can drive a third of the way to Tucson. So that's what that's for. So that is it. I'm hoping to be able to stuff some other categories in the next one, as well as some of the ones that I stuffed today, so I can be more aggressive with those, because I really want to beef up my savings, and it just makes me feel a little bit safer and more comfortable knowing I have money there in case something happens, which things always happen. That's just Murphy's Law. It always is there lurking and waiting to happen. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you made it all the way to the end, please go ahead and leave me a cash emoji, since this was about stuffing Lil Louis as well as Big Bertha. Hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. I will see you in my next video. Have a great day.